one more little video clip for today. We're going to have a look at some different barks. Now, again, this is not an exhaustive list, but one thing I want to demonstrate is that bark can be useful for helping to identify tree species, but it can also be really tricky. Okay, it's not always super reliable because bark can be variable and it can change through the tree's life as well. But let's take a look at a couple of different kinds of tree that we have right here. Okay. So first of all, we can have a look at one of the species we just looked at a minute ago, which was white pine. So young white pines, like this one here, here's the sort of size we're talking about here, have relatively smooth bark, okay? Now if I go down to the bottom of this tree, this will give us a hint about how the bark is going to change. It's going to become more furrowed, it's going to become rougher and thicker and darker as well. Okay, so that's something that you have to be careful about because through the tree's life, the bark will change on many species. I'm just going to take a quick walk over here and have a look at another one of the trees that we looked at the foliage. Okay, now this is the bark of a balsam fir. Okay, and one thing we notice about this bark is that when the firs are young especially, there are these sort of blisters, okay? There are these bubbles, let's see if I can get my finger on one, okay, that are full of sticky resin, okay? So that's something you can look for on young to kind of medium-aged balsam fir, and of course that changes also through the lifetime of the tree, and the bubbles and these sort of smooth areas kind of disappear as the tree gets older. Okay, maybe we'll have a look at one more. Here is a sort of typically shaggy bark of the eastern white cedar. You can see it's got these sort of thin, flexible strips that are peeling off. So that's pretty typical white cedar, eastern white cedar bark. Let's go down the tree again. Okay, so there's 3 examples. And as we go through the course and we start talking about trees that have distinctive bark, we'll look at a few more.